was actually having a nice chat in Hindi with Aishwarya Lakshmi. We aced it. Both of us South Indians, we managed Hindi. I'd like you to please come on stage, Aishwarya. Thank you very much for gracing our event. We also have Mahesh Narayanan, who's an editor, director, a name to reckon with in the Malayalam film industry. Please do have a seat. A big round of applause. I'm sure all of you have seen Aishwarya Lakshmi. She's been, now you're doing Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, of course. So proud of you, Aishwarya.
Thank you so much, Nabila. Good afternoon, all of you. I hope this session is enjoyable, and I hope I don't say anything, say some nonsense, that's all. But thank you for having me here. I am honored that I could be here and represent Malayalam cinema and the amazing scripts and cinema that we produce.
Absolutely, and we're really happy to have you, Aishwarya. Tell me more about your move from saving lives to entertainment.
I was just learning to save lives. By the way, the context is that I'm a doctor. I finished my MBBS and then I started acting. It was God's decision, I would say, because I never thought I could be an actor. And my family was very oriented towards like education, nothing else, like have a career in, which is well respected by the society because they did not think acting was one of that. They still do not. But
I do want you to delve into that a little more. You know, to be doing MBBS and then jumping into modeling is, well, we've heard of stories, but coming from Kerala, I'm sure your family is traditional. You have, and like you did mention, a mindset where education is paramount, entertainment is not looked upon as a lucrative industry or a safe one. Yeah,
it's more. I think it's more like a safety concern because they've heard very different stories about the entertainment industry. And I come from a very middle-class background. My father was working in Secretariat and my mother was with the central government. So for both of them, cinema was not something that they thought of as a career option at all for their only daughter. So when it happened, I did face a lot of opposition from home. They did not want me to choose because they were, even now they are worried, what film are you going to do next? According to them, I have done all variety. Now it's time. Time is up. Please come home. Yeah, so it's not easy. It's not easy to be in cinema as such because every day is a struggle. Every day you have to find, not every day, but at least the next script that I do, next character that I do, I have to make sure that the audience still likes me. And as for a heroine, we always say we have a shelf life. So it is a constant struggle. It is.
You know, I take this question to Mahesh on the safety part of it. Mahesh, does that,
you know... I just want to elaborate, add one more thing. Now they know it is very safe. Like, now they are happy on the safety part of it. It's just the financial security part that they are concerned about now.
Financial security?
We'll talk later.
One would assume stars get paid.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, Mahesh, why don't you give me a perspective on that? Safety, financial stability, women for women.
See, apparently, first of all, thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
For this session. Thank you, Nabila. So, my point of view is that still cinema runs on the shoulder of male actors. Certainly, that's a truth. Everywhere, it's not only in India. Like, you know, they are the people who brings money to the table. So that's a hard reality. So as content creators, we still have to, what to say, blend things together and try to balance everything. I often believe that I belong to an industry which is called the midstream, where, neither we do this masala, big spectacle things, but nor into that zone of very arty. At times, we also have to feed ourselves. So some films will make for the sake of our own appetite, but things will also fail. But end of the day, business really counts. So, yeah.
You know, Mahesh, you are a stellar movie, producer, editor, and a director.
Yeah.
Give us the struggles when you work in the industry here in Kerala. Any specific struggle that you want to highlight here today?
See, struggles are everywhere, but only advantage what we have in Kerala is we only have independent producers. So independent producers in the sense like, we don't need to convince a lot of people. Just like when you go to Bombay or some other industry where, where like big studios are functioning.
Yeah,
it's
I was actually coming to that. What I wanted to highlight here is the funds.
Okay.
We believe that the Kerala industry, the film industry, is grappling with less money. Is that true? Funds not sufficient enough to make big budget films?
See, I will tell you a small example. Like my first film, it was on the nurses' rescue from Iraq. It was titled Takeoff. So that film, we had only like 5.5 crores. So we made an arrangement that this is the money we have. And within that money, we have to build Iraq. We'll have to build war. We'll have to build all those, infrastructure and everything. That's the limited budget. So we can build, it's all about the proportion. How much, earlier there used to be a proportion where, 20% of the total budget will be the remuneration.
Yeah.
Now it's close to 95. In some industries, it's up to 95. So imagine, 5% is what we are getting to make films.
Yeah.
So, so still Malayalam cinema survives because, because that ratio is balanced.
I think Malayalam cinema survives because your storyline is unmatchable. Or the best cinema, at least by far, and that's the perception that India has, that a cinema that comes from the Malayalam film industry, be sure you can watch. It's going to be different. It has a rich storyline.
I have to add something to that. It's about however local you go, the route, when you say a story about a northern Kerala environment, a person sitting in Calcutta is relating to that. Why? Just because, because the story has a soul and people are all getting connected easily. Just with watching the film with subtitles, they are easily understanding. So the good thing for us is that now films are being subtitled in all languages. So with the platforms coming into the scenario. So I have to really thank them for that. So that's the only reason, because earlier it was very difficult. Even for Malayalam cinema, I don't think, in the early 90s or even in the early 2000s, cinema used to have subtitles in theaters. Now it's not that. We have subtitles.
Yeah. Aishwarya, tell me a little more about your journey again. I'm going to get back to your MBBS transition towards acting. And today, do you feel like a successful star? Do you feel like you've arrived? Is this your space?
So ever since meeting Mani Ratnam sir, my definition of success has changed. I feel like success is something that you feel you have achieved if you can balance your life and your work. It isn't necessary that you have to have the next big project. You have to have achieved every 5-star review from every reviewer. It's not necessary just that is success, because your personal life could be struggling at that point of time. If you can balance both, I call that success. And I feel like I'm very successful. I'm very happy. I'm at peace with myself. And I feel like my perspective has changed towards cinema. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the fame. I'm in it because I feel very happy as an actor in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And I will feel happier if I can find the next story that I find that I should be in, that I should tell the story. I should bring this character towards the audience. A few days back, I had called Mahesh sir asking for work. That's when we connected again. I had connected with him long back when he had narrated one script to me. We couldn't make it.
You called him asking for work?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I love all of his films. I love the way he approaches cinema and the type of cinema he brings to the audience. So I wanted to be part of his films, and I asked him for work, and he said he's writing something, and he'll let me know if and when he has a character that suits me.
Right.
So I am okay with the waiting period now. I am not at all any more desperate. I used to be very desperate in the first 2 years maybe. I wanted to do more and more cinema, more and more characters. Right now I want to do only characters that are memorable, that wants to stay
And
with
we,
the
we
audience.
see you, rightfully so, we see you doing a lot of women-centric films, roles that have
Well-written female characters,
well-written
yes.
roles around you as a central character,
Yes, yes.
as opposed to having a big male star. We've seen that working for you.
See, the thing is, to be honest with you, I don't believe in stories where only females are the, central characters. Because in our lives as women, everybody plays an important role, male and female. I'm not just talking about, so
Sure.
I want cinema, right now, currently, what I think of is that it should be a good balance. Well-written female and well-written male characters. Otherwise, there's no point, because cinema is supposed to be a reflection of society, our lives, and in our lives I feel like the balance should be attained on screen as well. And just to add to what he was saying, the notion that Malayalam cinema is well written is more popular now. But if you go back a little while, Bardhan sir, Padmarajan sir, we have had amazing cinema, and
Yeah.
because of internet I'm able to see those films again as part of the latest generation
Yeah,
in
sure.
Kerala who's in cinema.
Classics,
I feel like
yeah.
we are just trying to up our levels because we have been given the best cinema before, so we have to rise up to that. And well written cinema is the demand, because I don't think our audience is stupid.
Absolutely. I think audience in Kerala are very intelligent, and they're very quick to decide whether it's a hit or a flop. But what's upsetting now for the industry is also the OTT. Mahesh, would you agree? A lot of the cinema going crowd, those who flock to cinema halls, now you have cinema hall owners, multiplex owners who are really bleeding. OTT has really taken off that business, but as a director, has that really affected you in terms of content generation? How have y'all handled this post-pandemic scenario?
Yeah, so my thing is like both these things are going to coexist. It is not going to run away. Like, there is a very beautiful statement made by Mr. Kamal Hassan, which is about like, you have temples. So just because you keep an idol and pray in your houses, that doesn't mean that a famous temple is going to lose the revenue. The revenue in the temple is going to be there always. So see, collective viewing or mass viewing is always required. It's a part of Indian culture. It is needed. Only thing is that, like, how much space we are getting. Like, for example, like number of films, how many number of films are being produced from a particular industry. That is definitely a thing which we have to address right now, because now it is almost like, say for example in Malayalam, it's almost like 180 to 190 films censored on a yearly basis. So out of it, like, every week, sometimes in a week, we have like 9 releases. So ideally, I'm not talking about cinephiles, but a normal cine lover. He will watch a maximum of 20 films a year. So you have to be in that 20. So being in that 20 is the biggest challenge right now. That is what I'm we all discuss. And something we should have that, what to say, there should be the USP. But what's the USP in that story? Because I often keep a theory right now with my friends, that it is that like an idea gets expired very soon. It's not that earlier, because people have got lots of other, places to see that, and an idea conceived here can be similar to others. So, like, it's not that like you put something on development for 3 years or 4 years, and you're still not making it. Then my thing is that please don't make it anymore. Like, you should either reconceive it in a different manner, or script, like, just leave the film aside, like that. So, like my last three films are part of digital platforms.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful to them actually.
Yeah.
That's what actually like See You Soon is the first film to be produced for digital. It was taken by Amazon Prime. So that actually made us those people, those actual figures actually gave us the confidence to make more films for them.
And it is not that it's commercially also giving us a new exercise or a new platform to, I'm not against that. Only thing is that we also have to feed the regular cinema, regular theatrical.
You have to feed it.
Yeah,
really. You've got to keep the system alive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
We know that Malayalam cinema, and how do you feed it? Malayalam cinema gives a lot more importance and precedence to the storyline, less to a star. And to that effect, we've seen a lot of movies actually throwing up superstars. Prithviraj's first film, also we believe, the storyline was so solid that he became a star. Tovino Thomas, his movie as well. I mean, it's the storyline that really makes the star. I hear the directors in the Kerala film industry don't really keep the actor in mind. It's the storyline in mind. Tell us a little more about that concept, because that makes the actor less glorified as opposed to the other industries that we see, and the director a lot more powerful.
So, like Malayalam cinema had a great literature background. So earlier days, since she mentioned about Padmaraj and a lot of other directors, even KG George, lots of people used to take literary works and then adapt it again. Just like how Manisha did Podiyan Selvam. It's a long dream for him. He was trying to make it from 80s, I think. They were discussing it with Kamal sir, Rajni sir, and everybody. So now, coming back to Malayalam cinema, we still believe in that. Whenever this process starts, so I'll say a small example of how a project is green lighted here. So this green lighting happens in a day or two. So in Hindi cinema, it is 3 years, 4 years sometimes. People sit on that, develop it, and then multiple ideas come in, multiple drafts. And I'm seeing writers stuck with doing it. I am on the 21st draft, man. I don't know what to do next. So we look at it in that manner, we can't hold like that. So that's a great advantage here, and that is only because of independent producers, because they have that trust in the project, and still. There is a back of their mind when we become ambitious, then there comes all these figures. Okay, there is this 100 crore club, there's a 200 crore club. Where do we want to land? After all, my point of view is that we basically need to entertain people. The crore club and everything is they're all figures. That's it.
Basic idea is entertainment. But what about
and also there should be a definition for entertainment. Entertainment means something which is engaging. It is not that just a slapstick comedy or a star glorifying a star or something. Is that entertainment? Doesn't count. For me, entertainment is something which is engaging. People say that a film is
whichever genre. It could be comedy, horror, emotional, whatever it is. Engaging is of course your focus. But Aishwarya, how important is it for you to have commercial successes? You could have movies which could have positive critical, acclaims that you get from critics, positive reviews, etc. But unless you have a commercial success, that you won't have, I don't know, the kind of fan clubs, the craze around you. We see these heroes with a mass following, or actresses with a mass following as well. But are those days gone?
Not at all. I believe that is one part of the system. There is also the part where we have to produce more and more cinema that actually talks to the person while they're watching it. I was giving this example a while back as well. So I watched Good Will Hunting very recently, and there is a scene where he talks to the therapist, and the therapist talks about the scene where his wife actually farts. That scene where when Robin Williams' character laughs, I laughed with him. While I was watching it, I laughed with him. I want cinema, again coming to the point of engaging, whatever be it, it should be engaging to the audience from scene to scene.
But look at the movies in Bollywood that do so well. I'm not going to name them.
I'm not against
no, I'm just saying, I'm asking your perspective on that. They do so, I'm not going to name the movies that have done really well in terms of crores of earning. It could really satisfy the whole industry for a year or more. Crores of earnings, but absolutely no storyline.
But they were
just big stars in the picture and women dancing around trees. That still works. Would you ever do a film like that?
I would love to. See,
That was my question.
If it is engaging. So like Sir said, entertaining and engaging is the same thing.
Right.
From scene to scene, if you can visually captivate the audience, if you can interest them with the songs, with the fashion, because as women, we are drawn to things like that. As human beings, we love a good album, something that we can listen to on your day-to-day basis. Like you break down it into simple pieces. If you can take and assimilate few things from that into your daily life, if you can remember a scene when you're driving. Like for me, the Goodwill Hunting scene is something that I still remember. And there was a conversation with Manish sir that I had recently. I was very confused about a script. It was not the same template as how we usually, when I take a film, the central character has an arc, there is a conflict, then there is a resolution. There was no conflict in the film. And I was like, there's no conflict. So I was so confused because everything else I liked, but there's no conflict. I was looking for conflict all through the narration. There was no conflict. Then I was so confused. So I asked Manish sir, this is what the thing is. There's no conflict. So I'm in two minds now. I want to do that because there is no template, but I'm also worried there is no template. So sir said, is it engaging? Is it engaging scene to scene? Are you captivated as an audience? And I was. So that was my answer. And I hold that close every time I'm listening to a narration or I'm choosing something. I hold that very close because if it is engaging, I feel like I'm in the right track.
All right, engaging it is, but what about you, Mahesh? Would you ever direct a movie that involves dancing around trees?
No, see, an industry...
With just big star faces, but hardly a... I mean, for commercial success, even that works with audiences.
See, primarily everything has to be there. Recently, if you look at the Oscars, Everything Everywhere All at Once, it was made as an indie film. It was made as an indie film with very low budget and everything, and finally look where it achieved. So the thing is, like,
no, a low-budget film does really well because somehow the storyline is solid. But imagine crores of rupees spent on a movie to make a movie without hardly any storyline. Not great to watch. You would possibly tune off in 20 minutes. But the crores it earns.
No, I will tell you a different example. When I started as an editor, So we used to do a small exercise where when the scenes are there, when the draft is there. So normally Malayalam cinema, there are also writers who used to write on location also, improvise mostly on locations. So when this draft is ready, we basically look into that in that perspective that we randomly remove scenes. In between, without even looking at it, and then reread it. So read it again. So after a second time, third time, we are not feeling anything which is lost. So after a point, the script is just 10 pages. And still we are finding it then we will tell them that better not to shoot that. so this is an exercise which we practice always. So that's what, anything which has to have that soul. The soul is very important, the connect is very important. Why a song like Nattu Nattu, even though it's a commercial film, why it is getting connected? Because there is a connection in the basic logline of the film. You have to understand that. It's a commercial film.
Correct.
It's done for the masses, but still, it has got a connect. So that connect is very, very important.
Well, do you believe that stars still have that appeal, like a Mohanlal, Mammootty, the kind of mass following these stars have, like a Rajnikant for that matter? Today, has that ecosystem changed? Are audiences spoiled for choice? With OTT, you have so many stars now, just so many talents that we've discovered. Gone are those days, you believe, Mahesh?
See, stardom will always be there. Because, imagine in Bombay, you have Prithvi Theatre. So I believe that...
I can't think of a few more stars. Like right now, the Khans enjoy what they're enjoying. But the next generation, I don't see that kind of ardent blind following at all.
No, but they will come up with something else. They have to come up. It is not about...
Basically, now it's all come down to your talent. You don't have talent, that's it. You're written off.
My comment is always that you should not go with the templates or the Excel sheets. Those are the things which we kill, like the tick marks. Okay, whether this is there, which is the reference of this thing. Okay, this worked. Just because of that, we will follow that, and this will again work. It's not that. So everything, on daily basis, people are used to different things. That's why, what's the USP? Why am I going to watch it in theater?
That is a specific, that question we have to be answerable. A director
Correct.
has to address that.
Yeah. So it comes down to the script and the talent and
Yeah.
all of that. Industry has changed. People have evolved. You've come down to watching quality stuff on TV and cinema as well. Aishwarya, tell me, what are you looking forward to? Is there anything that you're really keen on doing per se? Anything particular that you're working towards?
I'm always looking for the best script that can come to me. I am very greedy as an actor. I feel like I want to do every well-written script that is there in any industry possible. But yeah, that's in an ideal environment, ideal world.
Scenario. But
yes.
can I ask you,
Yeah.
I was told by somebody, women-centric roles and movies that have women as the main protagonist usually draws less crowds to theaters, or the response is, timid. Not as much as a male star or a big face. Both of you, the question to both of you.
No, see, it all depends on the film. Say, for example, a film like a Dirty Picture. It
Yeah.
is a massive hit.
Right.
A film like, Kangana's Queen. Tanu Weds Mannu.
Queen, yeah.
All are big hits. Like, even in Malayalam, we have hits like that.
Yeah.
Only thing is that, like, where we are addressing, where we are going, like, are we pitching on the right line? You should, like, the balance has to be there. The essence should, like, you have to be always make sure that the idea of what you're trying to communicate,
Correct.
it should transcend, properly transcend. Otherwise, it is lost. Like, if it's lost, it's lost.
Right.
And I believe a well-made film, and that which doesn't come under the category of, run-of-the-mill, same template story, well-written, every character should be well-written, engaging, entertaining, then it works. And also when you term it as success, it is on the cost of production of the film. So if it is making, I feel like if the producer is safe, if you have done the business, that film is a success. You cannot say that the film is not a success. If you're trying to say about the 100 crore, 200 crore club, then maybe not. Then the question is different. Only a few female-centric films have achieved that. Also, only a few normal, hero, heroine, all those films, only a few films have achieved that. So definitely the proportion is lesser. It doesn't mean that that cannot happen. Tanu Weds Mannu is the female-centric film that has had the
But mostly we've seen, Bollywood successes, the money, revenue they've earned also is phenomenal. From the South, are we going to see a movie on that scale, especially the Malayalam film industry? Could you tell us a movie like Ponniyin Selvan, the kind of investment and just the magnanimity of that film production and the sets? Mahesh, we're looking forward. Are you going to come up with a film like that?
See, we are
on
all
that
trying.
scale?
We are all trying. Only thing is that territorially we are very small. So we have to look at the business also, the angle. Like, also audience here are in a way, like, they need to see something which is very relatable. So they're used to that. So we always try to it's not be like, go with a giant leap, slow, like, go with a small leap, slow, like, try little, push it little harder, then we'll understand how it is going to function. So here, like, I have to add one more thing, like, making a film for digital is the more challenging part. Why? Because people have this thing called remote. Because every time, like, I used to say, like,
So switch.
yeah, you can switch.
So easy.
And you can forward. And, like, somebody can, like, I'm not interested in this particular area. I can go and see what is in the end, just like reading a book.
And so the natural response or reaction, I think, in a director's mind is, I might as well make good quality, small budget productions rather than go into magnanimity of it. Because, I mean, I can't even imagine the kind of people and the number of people you need for a production like that. But with this kind of, with Kerala as a state itself having such an expat crowd, do you believe that investment on in that front is coming
Actually,
your way?
now, like, it's only after 2017, I think, like, I will tell you an example of my first film. So it was sold to Middle East for 75 lakhs.
Yeah.
The total collection was more than 10 crores. But it was sold already. But the benefit is not to the producer. It was for the film title Takeoff. So because it deals with the diaspora over there. Now people from here, like, producers from here are also trying to distribute it independently over there and monetize that revenue over there. So that is a need.
Well, all right, Aishwarya, every actor has a Hollywood dream. Do you have one?
I want to act in any and every language possible. I'm just waiting for the right script.
How are you, if Hollywood is your dream, anything that you're doing in particular? Give us your daily routine. What's Aishwarya's life like on a regular day?
Okay,
I mean,
the two questions are connected.
not aiming at Hollywood all day long, but I'm
All
just
day.
saying, what's your day like? Let us know.
Okay, so it's very simple. I just be. Like whatever I want to do, I do. I don't restrict myself. I want to eat chocolates, I eat. I want to work out, I work out. I want to read, I read. So I feel that is success for me right now because I'm not tied up to anything. I'm safe, I'm secure. So I can do what I want. I have responsibilities, but not major ones. No major financial constraints. So I'm free to do what I want right now.
You've done most of the southern languages. Anything in Hindi that we're looking forward to?
I've heard scripts, but I'm waiting for the right one. I think that's a story of my life right now. I feel like I've become too choosy. I think
Too
that's a good
choosy?
thing. Yeah, I want to be too choosy because I feel like in this world where if you open your phone, you have entertainment, you have something or the other that catches your attention. I want to be there in your memory. I want to be there as like that's the impact of watching good cinema.
And this is Aishwarya in 6 years of her career.
Yes,
has also
yes, I
has
am.
also turned producer, I hear.
Yes, and with every movie that I watch, with every good film that I watch, I want to be more and more like the best scenes that I see. Like as in, I want to be part of the best scenes that I see. I want to be part of the memorable scenes that I see. Otherwise, I don't want to be part of it.
Ponniyin Selvan, your character itself in the book is the most crucial and important character. But
Yes.
in the movie, the character was really small. You had very little airtime, but surely noticeable. You were lovely in it. But we hear that Mani Ratnam asked you not to read the book.
Yes,
Because
yes.
you'll be disappointed that your role would.
No, he didn't want me to have any preconceived notions about
Don't look at it because then you'll be disappointed that your role was reduced to.
the whole film, not just
Right.
my role. Yeah.
So you still went ahead with it.
Yes, I did. That's why I think he likes me. But because I already started reading the book before I met Sir. After I met Sir, I told him I'm reading the book. He said, don't read it. I went back and read it. He asked me, you completed it? I said, I completed it. So he had no problems with it. He knew I was going to complete it. I also feel like I was able to differentiate the script from the book. I was in no way amalgamating both of them, so I was fine.
But-
it was only when, if I was very strict that what has to be in the book has to be in the film, then there's a problem. I read the book,
But your
and then I
character in the
forgot
book
about it.
is so important.
Yes,
But
yes.
in the movie, it was a small role.
Yes,
You were
5
fine
minutes.
by that.
Very much. I just wanted to be part of Mani Ratnam sir's one single frame. So I'm getting a character that is there in 2 films. I'm happy.
A big round of applause for that. Unapologetic, Aishwarya, Lakshmi, so lovely. It was such a delight to have a chat with you, and I'm only wishing you all the very best
Thank
for
you,
all the
Naveen.
future endeavors. Mahesh as well was
you. Thank
super
you so much.
lovely. Aishwarya, can I ask, do you sing?
I don't want to try that right here. I'm guessing they're here for a lovely evening. Kamal Hassan sir is coming soon. Why do you want to do that?
I hear you do.
I don't actually. I can, but not now.
Okay.
Some other time.
No, I can't force you now. All right. Thank you very much, Mahesh and Aishwarya. Such a pleasure to have you with us. All the very best.
Thank you.
Big round of applause, please.